Welcome to today's edition of Mental Health Matter. Today we're going to be talking about classical homeopathy. I have a guest on the show who's going to share her story and how classical homeopathy improved her mental health. So I want you to get a snack and something to drink and come on back and stay tuned for the show that we got in store for you guys today. So Anna, thank you so much for being a guest back on the show. I know it's the weekend, and I know that people have a lot of things to do on the weekend like myself. So thank you for taking the time out to come and share your personal story. So why don't we start by you just introducing yourself, and we could just go from there.
My name is Anna Ganesh, and I've tried classical homeopathy in the past, and that's what I want to talk about today.
So why is this particular topic important to you?
Classical homeopathy has helped me so much that I want to share it with other people, and it not only helps with mental health conditions, but with physical conditions as well.
Okay, so for people who don't know what homeopathic is, it's pretty much the medicine that embraces holistic and natural approach. So it's pretty much a lot of people use like natural things in order to improve their health or mental health in a sense. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's different types of homeopathy, but I chose classical homeopathy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's kind of name some of the different type of homeopathy so people can be aware.
I don't know all of them. I just know the kind they sell at the store.
Okay.
Know, the little tinctures that you buy, or the creams and stuff, homeopathy creams. I use homeopathy remedies through a homeopathy, and I go through a homeopathy practitioner.
Okay.
And a classical homeopathy is a principle of action for a cure, using likes cures likes. It uses natural remedies to stimulate the body's self-healing powers.
Okay.
And that's what classical homeopathy does. It's like an alcoholic going to a AA meeting, and being around other alcoholics, it helps cure him.
Okay, okay, kind of like, because sometimes they have sponsors and things like that.
Yeah, and also they're well trained. The classical homeopathy practitioners have to have 2 to 4 years of schooling.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
And either depending on if they go part-time or full-time, and they have to be certified by the Council of Homeopathic Certification.
Okay, wow, wow.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the mental health portion, because I want to really highlight why you chose to use this particular method to help or to improve your mental health. What type of mental health were you kind of struggling with or diagnosed with that caused you to go this route? It
started in 1989, and I was going through mostly hard times with my family issues and stuff. And I had I was seeing a counselor, and he told me if I was depressed over 2 weeks to let him know.
Yeah.
Well, then it was 2 weeks, but it was too late. Because what happened was one day I woke up and I went to work, and everything slowed down like a slow movie.
Yeah.
And it was like my mental health slowed down and my physical health. My physical, like I was typing and I couldn't remember how to type.
Yeah.
So he recommended that I see a psychiatrist.
Okay.
And he put me on 2 pills, and he told me I'd be on them for the rest of my life.
Okay.
And they worked for about 8 years. Okay. And I didn't have any problems at all, really.
Really?
I also had panic attacks, I want to say, too.
Okay.
I didn't know that I was having them. I didn't know. I thought it was natural, but I didn't know. But that's what they gave me pills for that, too.
Okay.
So I was having panic attacks. And Then in 1996, I was getting a divorce, and my anxieties got worse and worse. That was like 8 years later. And I was even agoraphobic because I was so bad. And I especially had anxieties around groups of people, like at parties and stuff, and just any groups of people, and public speaking. And I also got depressed and gradually very depressed. And I felt hopeless, like despair, and like a broken heart. Mostly like it felt like somebody died.
Yeah.
And I was like going through like a mourning. And in the meantime, I was trying to work at that time, and I was having trouble working because I would wake up and I couldn't get out of bed. You know, I felt so like my body ached even. You know, and I was just so depressed that I didn't want to go to work.
So let me stop you there. So do you feel like some of the situation that was going on in your life, I know you said that there was things that's happening at home. So do you feel like sometimes when situations occur in our life, they contribute to the depression and anxiety and things like that? If that makes sense.
With me, it did.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know about everybody, but with me, it did. You know.
Well, I think it's safe to say that it contributes to people's mood swings overall. I know recently I had to make a decision for myself to distance myself as far as long distance from my family over the phone because, I come from a very dysfunctional background where, a lot of alcoholics, drug addicts, and, people dropping out of 8th grade and just, that type of thing. I was the first one in my family to go to college and graduate, things like that. Well, recently, within the last 2 weeks, there were things that was going on in my family, and I would get these phone calls, and just a lot of violence, just stuff that I'm not used to now in my everyday life. And so I was on my way to work. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, and I was talking to my mom on the phone. And so one of my brothers came in, and he was just irate. He was just, just his conversation would just really, really bother me. And so meanwhile, I'm on the other end of the line. My mother, she's trying to calm him down and talk to him whatever was going on with him. And I was trying to tell her to put him on the phone because I wanted to have a conversation with him for the disrespect that he was doing to my mom. And so, but my mom, she's one of those people that, she kind of, she want all her kids to get along and act like we're in this one big happy place, and when it's not like that, And so of course, she didn't put him on the phone. And so at that point, I had made a decision that, okay, I have to take care of myself because now I'm sitting outside my job in my car, and I have to go upstairs and be professional when I'm really in a bad place mentally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was angry. Just all type of stuff was going on in my head. I'm very emotional. And so I can put on a happy face. I do very well with masking my emotions. So I went upstairs, and I closed my office door for about 5 minutes, and I kind of got myself together, and I started my day. But later that day, I sent my sister a text message, and I pretty much told her, like, look, this has been going on all our lives, and, I got to think about me now. If mother wants to allow her kids to disrespect her and do the things they do to her, I have to respect her choice. But for me, I don't want to be a part of their lifestyle anymore. And so I've made the choice not to communicate with my family over the phone, and because it was affecting me,
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that because the remedy also helped with my issues because I came with a dysfunctional family too.
Yeah.
Not like yours, but
Yeah.
Similar. But I want to talk about that too, how it helped not only with my depression but with my issues after my depression.
Yeah. So let's talk about it.
Okay, sure. So what happened was I, in addition to taking the medication, I wanted to take another pill because what happened was at that time was talking that my pills started giving me side effects.
Oh,
that
wow.
In addition to all my depression that I was getting again.
Okay.
And so I wanted to get rid of the side effects, and but the pills didn't work because it made my mouth dry, and I couldn't handle that.
Yeah.
So I just chose not to take it. But then I took the homeopathy remedy, and I chose that remedy because I chose the homeopathy practitioner because I called the wrong number, and I thought it was a probably like omen, like maybe God sent her to me or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I I was calling iridology. I don't know if I told you that.
No.
I was calling to find out what what I wanted to do to help my depression and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was calling an iridologist, but I called a homeopathy practitioner instead. And she told me about homeopathy, and it intrigued me. You know, it sounded like something I wanted to try more than iridology.
Yeah.
Because it worked on a deeper level.
Yeah.
So then, during the first 2 weeks of I took the remedy. I think this was in 1996, at the end of 1996.
Yeah.
And then during the first week or two after taking the remedy, my agoraphobic and my anxieties, the worst part, went away.
Okay, wow.
It just went away. And it was like, the first week. And then also soon after that, my side effects to my pills went away.
Okay.
And so after that, not too long after that, well then it took about 1.5 years for me to get off my medication altogether. I did because I was taking the medication and the homeopathy together, and that's why.
Okay, so
and usually you don't do that. Usually they do just the
one or the other. Okay.
But mine was so severe that she didn't want to take me off the medication.
So okay. So back a little bit. How old were you when you first started experiencing?
I was 28.
20. Okay. So before that, you was okay with?
No, I think I had it before, but I didn't know. You know, I was always kind of depressed.
Okay.
But it wasn't as bad.
Okay.
It got really bad when I was 28.
So do you, did your parents or any siblings or anybody in your family, were they able to identify your depression or anything?
No.
Okay. So do you think, this is just me asking a question and or me making a statement. Because you seem like you're very quiet.
That's what I want to talk about. My remedy also helped with my issues, but before I tell you that, I want to tell you that gradually it got better and better, and it wasn't always easy. Okay. And even on the remedy, even though it helped, but it worked gradually. You know, the remedy with my depression. But it got off my pills, and it got worse before it got better because I was on medication. Okay. And then, but I had to do other things too, like exercise. I ran 2 miles a day every day just to get my endorphins up. Yeah. And no matter where I was, I would run. Yeah. And then also read self-help books, and I ate different foods that were good for you, and I took herbs and vitamins for I still had anxieties, but they weren't really bad. They were bad, but not like agoraphobic.
So if a person is quiet, say for example, because you have people who are like introverts, and you got people who are very outgoing. So for people who are quiet, do you think that it's harder to spot depression in them opposed to somebody that's outgoing?
No, I think if you really care about somebody, that you'd notice.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
But I was going to tell you that after the remedy helped my depression and I got off my pills, I was really happy about that. But I had issues, and they still caused me to feel not good. Okay. My issues actually made me feel sick, you know, like something was wrong, you know. Okay. And so I didn't realize it, but the remedy was helping me with my, I did realize it. The remedy started helping me with my issues. And so for that reason, I was on the homeopathy remedies, different ones, for 13 years, seeing the practitioner. And because I was like, every time it was like peeling an onion, and every time I got rid of one issue, another issue would come. Yeah. And also, if I felt like I was, feeling better, every time. You know? And I wanted to talk about some of my issues. It was like a roller coaster ride. And also the remedies helped me understand that I had issues, because some people don't even know they have issues, you know. Yeah. They have, but I realized and I could see them, with the remedy.
But what type of issues did you have?
Okay. I was really shy. I know I'm quiet now, but I was really shy at one time, and I would go to parties, and not only once, but people would say, "What country are you from?" Because I didn't talk. Oh, okay. And I was like really quiet. And I had like anxieties around people too, so I had that problem, and then also I was flaky. I would say I'd go somewhere and I wouldn't be there. I'd say I'd be there and I wouldn't go. Now I usually follow through, but sometimes it takes me a while, but I follow through.
Okay.
And then I was negative, and I put myself down a lot, you know. And I was late all the time, but now I'm mostly on time or early, which is,
Okay.
I always wanted to be on time when I was having that problem, but anyway. And I was insecure, and sometimes I would have a temper, like with my sister, you know.
See, that's hard for me to see with you.
I had a temper, and like if somebody would say something, I would fight, you know, argue back with them. Oh yeah, you know, no, you don't, you know, go back and forth and back and forth. But now I can just listen and not react.
Yeah.
And it's from the remedy, you know, and I can listen without reacting, and even if it's something that I know we're not going to agree on or you know, settle, I just pick my fights now. You know, I can be able to do that.
So okay, so I want to get back to that, but I want to talk a little bit about the remedy. Like, what were some of the things that you actually was encouraged to do or try as far as the remedy is concerned, as far as the food that you ate and things like that?
Say that again.
So let's talk about a little bit about the remedy. So expound on that a little bit.
Okay. Well, for instance, like when you take the remedy with the classical homeopathy doctor, practitioner, I mean, you take it for half an hour before and half an hour after. You're not supposed to drink water or eat anything before you take the remedy. And you can't drink coffee. You can't have peppermint.
Okay. So what does that consist of?
I don't know, because I'm not.
No, I'm talking about the things that you had to do. What did you have to specifically do? What was the remedy for you in your situation?
Well, the different remedies. The first one I ever tried was Ignatius.
Okay, now explain that, because I want people.
I don't know, because I'm not really a homeopathy doctor, and they would have to explain that.
Okay, so what did you have to actually do?
What did I have to actually do?
Yeah.
Just take the remedy. I take it like maybe.
Was it a drink? Was it in a pill form?
Oh yeah, it was a pill form.
Okay.
And it was like a little tincture, and you put 5 of the pellets in the cap.
Okay.
And after you didn't drink or eat for half an hour, you'd put it in your mouth.
Okay.
And you'd swallow it. That's it.
Okay.
It wasn't, and then, but it was kind of like tricky because you couldn't eat or drink before or after.
Okay.
And then no drink any coffee. Sometimes I would drink coffee and it would antidote it.
Oh wow.
And I would feel it.
Yeah.
And then you could feel it. It's just you felt off balance.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And people say it doesn't work, but I could tell you that for me it did.
Yeah. Yeah.
And back to the issues, I wanted to tell you about this book because when I was late, it's called Never Be Late Again, 7 Cures for Punctuality Challenge by Diana DeLonzer.
Okay.
And it talks about how when you're late, you actually, because when I was late, I always wanted to be early.
Yeah.
And I just had really a bad problem for years, you know, and so the remedy helped me see that, and then also reading this book.
Okay.
And this book talks about how people that are consistently late have issues, and they don't, and and it's like telling a depressed person, really depressed, get over it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it's like telling somebody that's late all the time to not be late.
Yeah.
People don't understand. They think they're just lazy or they're.
And you know, it's interesting you said that because like being in like a management position, and for those of us who have been in a management position, trying to get your staff to understand that like if your shift started at 8 o'clock, you know, part of your responsibility as an employee is to be there at 8 o'clock or a little bit before 8 o'clock. Sometimes you have people stepping up in there at 8:15, 8:20, 8:30, and sometimes they really don't, they know they're late, but they don't think it's an issue, you know. And so I've found myself having to address this over the years with some of the staff members that I've managed to kind of let them know. But it is an issue, but sometimes I really don't believe that people know that this is an issue for them.
Yeah. When I was late, before I was on my remedy, I knew I had a problem.
Okay, okay.
But I would just like
so you just
mask it, like pretend like, you know, I didn't
so
have a problem.
So when you knew you had to be at an appointment, you just kind of just thought to yourself like, okay, did you predestine this, that you predetermined that you're going to be late, or?
No, I just would try to be late, but every time I try to be late, try to be early,
yeah.
but I'd always be late.
Wow.
And I with jobs and stuff. I'd try to be there on time, and and then I was always late.
Yeah.
And then sometimes, and a lot of it was my anxieties, but, and then sometimes I'd just say, oh, I don't want to go, and then I'd,
Yeah.
could be late. In this book, it tells you to, one of the things to try is to, well, anyway, it has different issues, and it goes over 7 issues that you
Yeah.
might have.
Okay.
And it depends on what kind of issues you have, and it actually tells you different steps of how to cure it, I guess,
Okay.
And it really helped me. And one thing it talked about, though, was to trick yourself and set your alarm early, like
Yeah.
half an hour, or tell yourself you have to be there at 7:30 when you have to be there at,
At 8.
At 8.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how you start doing it.
Yeah. So with the remedy in this book, it kind of help you to get back on track as far as being punctual and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So when did you start to realize that, okay, taking this remedy is actually helping improving my mental health? At what point did you start to see improvement in your mental health?
The first time I took it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it helped with my anxieties, my
Okay.
agoraphobic. And I was
Okay.
like, wow, that was like a big hurdle it just got rid of, and I didn't think that could be possible.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
And then after that, and getting off the side effects to the pills, because they aren't fun. When you try different pills, sometimes they don't work, and you try different pills,
Yeah.
medications, and so that helped, and then with the depression, it was like gradual. Every time it would be gradual, and I'd notice something,
Yeah.
And then it would be like a hurdle that I got over, and I'd celebrate it,
Yeah. So when did your family and friends start to notice a change in you? Like, at what point did you feel they noticed a change in you? Did you feel they noticed immediately, or was it kind of later on when you started your continual process of homeopathy?
I feel like my close friends knew.
Okay.
They knew that that it was helping me,
Okay.
and also my homeopathy practitioner.
Okay.
And my family, not so much. Some of my
Okay.
family did, but not so much.
Okay.
So they just, because your family sees you how they want to see you.
That's exactly right.
And
yeah.
that's how you stay,
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But it doesn't, with the remedy, it doesn't matter to me. I just know that it helped me.
Okay.
And I know it did, so that's what matters,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah. So when you started to get improvement in your mental health and things like that, did you encourage other people, or did you kind of talk a little bit about what was going on in your life with other people so that it could potentially help them? Or
Yeah.
okay, good.
Mhm. Mhm.
Good.
Yeah, and I still tell people about it. It also helped with physical problems too, because at the time I would have a lot of bladder infections.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I never took pills for them when I was on the remedy. They just gave me a high potency. They potentized my remedy,
Yeah.
and it made it stronger, and it got rid of it.
Yeah. So what happened when you totally got off pills? Like how did your life change when you totally got off pills?
Well, I still have issues with depression.
Okay.
But it's not as bad as before. I have a neck problem
Okay.
that causes it. But I have, and also, just everyday, depression. But
Okay.
it's not severe depression. It's
Okay.
not severe.
So it definitely has increased a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're always going to go through life having,
That's
different
exactly
things,
right.
It's
Yeah.
not going to cure it.
Yeah, I think everybody experienced some form of depression or mood change or something like that, because life happens,
Yeah.
And so, I don't think, I hate to classify that as, I know as far as clinical as a mental diagnosis and stuff like that, but even clinical doctors or even people outside of that, we all experience some type of depression or anxiety or some type of mood change within ourselves.
Yeah.
Just because it's life.
Mm-hmm.
Death in itself, losing a loved one or a close friend, that right there that you're a prime candidate for depression or mood swings and things like that. So
But one thing the remedy helped me with now is I feel like won't change is that I'm a calmer person. I'm quiet, and that's
Yeah.
just who I am.
yeah, that's your
And
nature.
so it's my nature.
Yeah.
And some people misunderstand that,
Yeah.
and think that you're,
And so I'm the opposite. So when we get together, and outside of work, I'm just definitely trying to, my person. I'm just coming at them and asking questions and playing and joking and stuff like that. So
well, most of my friends are outgoing too,
Yeah.
because it balances it out.
yeah,
And also, my temper is not as bad. Well, sometimes of course you get upset, but I'm able to, like I said, calm down and get along better with people.
yeah, that's good. That's
And
good.
even different people that I don't get along with.
Yeah. Well, I know I did a little bit of research, and I know homeopathy, it helps people with skin disorders, allergies. It helps women with hot flashes, what's that, postpartum depression and things like that. So it's a lot of benefits to going the homeopathic way if somebody is willing to try it out.
Yeah, and it's natural.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
natural. Yeah. And I've known like older adults. I've noticed like she's like 80, 45, and she does a lot of natural stuff. A lot. We was actually talking on the phone about 2 weeks ago, a week ago, and I was laughing at her. Well, I was laughing at what she was saying because, when she goes and go to the doctor and things like that, they give her blood pressure medication and stuff like that. She will not take it, and she's fine. This woman looks much. She's like 85, and she looks every bit about 70. She looks really young for her age, but that's because she does everything natural. She eats very healthy. She take care of herself, but she also understands from a medical point of view, they have to recommend her to take certain pills or to do certain things because of this is what they've been taught. But she would get home. She would tell about one day she had a prescription, and she said, Jesse, I knew when I left the doctor office I was going to just tear that stuff up and throw it away. And she sat there, she talked, and she smiled and had the conversation. And she said when she walked out, she got to her car, she ripped it up, and she threw it away. And she has been like that for years.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because out of all her friends, she's outliving all her friends. And they're going the traditional way, while she's going the non-traditional way. But she's still here. Now, she have issues here and there with her body, but she's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. I like to try different things too, not
Yeah.
just, because
Yeah.
it's not good to take pills for everything.
Yeah. And people have to
Of
do
course,
what works
sometimes
best
you
for them.
have to take some pills.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Sometimes, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so you got to do what works best
Yeah.
for you. So what do you want, so in closing, what do you want people to know about classical homeopathy?
If you want to find a classical homeopathy practitioner in your area, contact the National Center for Homeopathy online and look under the local directory to find which practitioners in your area.
Yeah.
Or you can also look under Council for Homeopathic Certification.
Okay, good.
And it's very user friendly.
Yeah, and they can do their own research on the person, the doctor, and things like that, or who's.
I don't know how they do it, but it's a credentialed website.
Yeah, they can go online. You can always
Yeah.
go online and kind of do some research
Oh
on your
yeah,
doctor
yeah.
and stuff like that. So, yeah, you've came a long way from what you've shared with us today, and even on the last show, you shared a lot of personal stuff, and you've came a long way, and you look good. You
Thank
sound like you're
you.
doing well, and I like the fact that you're out here trying to educate people about mental health and what they can do in order to get well and stay well, because that's very important.
Yeah.
That's very important.
Uh-huh.
So I think we got we're about to close. Time is running out. But thank you so much for coming out and sharing your story. And I'm sure we'll have you on the show again in the future, because I'm sure you got a lot more to share with everybody.
Okay.
Thank you. And that's it for today's edition of Mental Health Matters.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this particular topic, or if you would like a DVD copy of this particular topic, or if you would like to be a guest on our show, please dial 916-366-4600. Thank you.